Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 9.
Listen, before we get into it, I want y'all to subscribe, like, share, all the above. I want to see y'all comments. I want to know what y'all think about this season. So far, I'm not feeling this season. What about you? You feeling the season so far, or is it too early to tell?
No, this is not a good season.
Oh, it's not a good season?
It's not a good season.
You can tell this early and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's walk through it, Blair. Let's walk through it.
All right. Well, Brennan has decided to move in with Emily.
Oh, he finally decided to do what the show is for.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they're also going to have the house party this weekend. So all the couples are going to be having their house parties.
Yeah.
Claire, we check in with her. She says it's been easy and natural living together with Cameron. We see Emily meet up with one of her friends, Sophie. She's talking about how Emily and Brennan and her share the same values.
Yeah.
And he was into her at first, but it took a turn where he isn't really reciprocating anymore. He has trouble opening up on camera. And Sophie says, well, maybe he needs some space to communicate and to think through his feelings. She says, me and you, we're kind of ones to want to get answers right away and talk through things right away, but maybe he's just different. Emily says that she really wants to give him the benefit of the doubt because she wants this to work. And that's where we leave off their conversation.
What do you think about Emily and Brennan's situation going on, Blair?
I think that Brennan does not like her for some reason.
What is the some reason?
I have no idea. I mean, it could be the attraction issue. And I don't necessarily say that to say physical attraction. I mean, maybe there's something about her he doesn't like. Or maybe it's him. Maybe that's the reason he hasn't been able to find a partner this long, because he's so picky and judgy. So that's what I'm looking at here.
I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't. I think attraction plays a part. Maybe some behind the scenes, because obviously there's some things that happen behind the scenes that we are not privy to. They even talk about it on the after party shows and things like that, to where it wasn't the relationship was rocky during the honeymoon. Yeah. So I don't know what he's seen. I don't know if it's her per se, but there's something that is turning him off from her completely. And as far as I know, as long as he's not opening his mouth, as long as he's not being open about it, transparent about it, he's the villain. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I will say I do not understand, especially for white people hair, why her hair was dreaded like that for days. Yeah. I really don't. I don't know if it's a hygienic thing, but there's something about her to him that is turning him off. Yeah. Hopefully we find out throughout the show, but continue.
Yeah. Next, Claire is bringing lunch to Cameron at his bike shop. And she goes in, he gives her a little bit of a tour, and he says, we're going to go ahead and fix a bike. Okay. And he tells us again that it's like surgery, and every repair is different, as if he's a surgeon. I'm like, Cameron, you are stretching it. Okay. But Claire and him, they put on their glasses, and then he actually gives her his jacket so that way she doesn't get all dirty. Yeah. And she says that she's attracted and seeing him do what he loves. Like, that's attractive to watch.
Not specifically fixing a bike. Right. But here's the thing. There's something about Cam and Claire that is off-putting to me, but more Cam. Do you feel like, because Claire is a therapist, right, there is a type of, I don't want to say elitist job title, but it's a job title that gives off or alludes that you're smart. You know, I feel like every time they talk, I feel like it's his duty, or he's making it his duty rather, to make Claire look dumb. And I'm just like, why are you so, I don't want to say the word condescending.
I think that's the right word.
But it comes,
that's his personality, like.
But I don't know. It's almost as if it's like, well, actually, it's like almost, that's like his whole persona. Claire can say something, and it's almost as if like he has to show or prove that he is like at least on her level or smart or smarter. That's on Cam. Claire, you're weird. Don't ever, and now this may be a small thing, but to me it's a big thing. Don't ever say you brought me lunch and you ate the other sandwich.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird and to me inconsiderate. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because for example, me and Blair is married. We don't eat off each other and stuff like that.
But maybe that's weird.
What? That's not weird. It's my food.
For some people, maybe.
No, it's my food, right? So I'm not an animal. I'm not gonna eat nobody's scraps. So the idea that she said I brought you lunch, I ate the other sandwich though.
The other half, yeah.
That's like, what's wrong with y'all? But maybe y'all need to be together. I don't know. Continue.
Yeah. Moving on, it is Becca's birthday, and she is out with her friends in Austin. And they are on the same page with a lot of things, but they do differ on religion. Pastor Cal opened Austin's eyes to a new way to look at the religious differences, and they still haven't had sex yet.
No, they have not. He
walks away, and so that, they can actually have some real girl talk. And the friends are like, we love him. He's great. We love him for you. Becca says that they aren't really falling in love yet, but she just thinks that he needs time prior to having sex with her.
I'm going to tell you what Austin needs, Becca. Another partner. He's not feeling you, girl. He's not feeling you, right? I feel like he is. I feel like based on the circumstance that, I don't want to say you put him in, but the circumstance, your circumstance, be it health and all those things, he was put into the corner of being the nice guy. I don't even know who Austin is. We could be fooled and put, and the wool could be over our eyes over the sense of like, oh, look at their great couple and things like that. But they are a superficial couple.
Oh, very.
They don't talk about anything.
No.
They don't do anything. And they don't even have sex. Now, I'm not saying sex is the goal, but the fact that she says that she wonders if, or she alluded to wondering if, like, does he find me attractive and things like that. And I'm like, there's something about the men on the show that is not attracted to these women that these professionals are putting them with. Orion talking about he lost romantic feelings for Lauren last episode. Brennan don't even want to move in with Emily. You get what I'm saying? Cam just wants sex.
Yeah.
Cam,
that's at the top of his mind.
Cam wants sex.
Physical intimacy.
He wants sex, and Claire don't trust him. You get what I'm saying? So to see Austin and Becca, I think, don't be surprised at the end if they don't stay married.
Yeah.
She keeps bringing up the religious part, and I feel like she's going to talk herself into a problem. You know what I mean? He's the one, I think he's the Christian one, right?
Yeah.
Right? He's the one that's basically like, the core of my belief is love. Basically, and that's what Pastor Cal was basically talking about her. Like, as long as y'all good people in love and things like that. And, her friend says something alluded to the fact that, like, we worry about that Jesus thing later. That's kind of strange to say because if this was any other religion, we take it seriously. So, like, take his religion seriously. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that y'all don't, there's no anchor to Becca and Austin's relationship.
No, it's just that they laugh, they have a good time, they like kissing on each other, and it can be hard to see that he may not be totally into her because he acts like he's into her. They had conversations about where we're going to move after the fact, even though he did kind of say we're going to live apart.
That's what I'm saying. Like, exactly.
So he's very much a mixed signal type of guy, I feel like, and I agree. Like, I agree during the honeymoon, let's have a good time, let's enjoy each other, let's try to build a foundation. But we're back home, and we should be able to talk about meaningful things.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if maybe there's just a wall there with him or he doesn't want to get that close to her because he knows he's not into it. But it is just kind of like you said, where's the anchor? Like, what's actually rooting you guys together other than jokes?
Yeah. So. And kissing on the nose and all those things. Like, I feel like we only view them as the good couple because all the other couples are terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing that's really making them the standard model couple of this season. But we should go talk about them more. Let's go, Blair.
So Emily and Brennan are actually finally physically moving in.
Finally.
And he is just overwhelmed by all her stuff. He said he brought like 2 things.
Yeah.
He is hopeful moving in will make them closer. He set a goal for himself that he is not going to get divorced. So he's like, what else am I going to do? That's a terrible attitude.
Man, what?
And we see Emily as she's bringing all her stuff in with her one hand because her other wrist is still messed up.
I don't know why she won't get that checked out.
And it looked like he went through her bag at one point to see how much stuff she brought, and he was like, oh my gosh. So I'm just like, I think he's just a judgy a-hole. That's how he comes across.
You think so?
Yeah. And then Brennan talks about how, he takes showers at this time, but he takes longer showers when he's processing. She says, well, you took long showers in Mexico, so it must have been a lot of processing. And he was like, yep, a lot of processing to do in Mexico.
Listen here. It's the small things in relationships. Let me tell you something. The first thing that's going to go when someone don't like you is the small things. Right? Someone will continue to pay the bills. Somebody probably will continue to pay the child support. Somebody will still probably look after the kids and stuff like that. But helping you bring your stuff in, he don't like you. He stood there and watched you do 6-7 trips. You had a wagon or like whatever.
She didn't.
You had a wagon bringing stuff in. He ain't hold the door.
No. He
ain't bring nothing. And he just basically like, wow.
He ain't put nothing away.
No.
He was literally standing there in the kitchen watching you.
No. Because he don't like you. You get what I'm saying? Just the little trivial stuff that most men or most people do, like holding the door. And
it's like, you don't even have to be into her to do that.
No.
Like, if you see someone doing something, you can grab the door for them.
At least
especially if y'all living together. I mean, what do you need to get? Let's go down to the car and make sure we get everything.
At least hold it.
Yeah.
At least hold it. And I'm not even telling you to be Superman and grab everything at one time. But she's bringing stuff in, and this is supposed to be y'all time together, time for y'all to actually work on y'all intimacy, work on y'all marriage. And it's the little things. You think as long as I'm here, I'm doing a duty. But you making it feel like it's Fear Factor. This is Married at First Sight.
Exactly.
This is not dare or double dare. I dare you to move in with Emily, Brennan. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Brennan is giving off like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum, and hopefully like you are tired of it and you leave. You get what I'm saying? Because he, as far as I know right now, he doesn't have any strong evidence to show or prove that Emily did something for him to feel this way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Did anything else you want to talk about that couple, Blair?
No.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we move on to Orion and Lauren.
Okay, they back on the show.
Why are they back on our screen?
Actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was really very, very happy to see them on the screen because this season's a dud. We need some type of entertainment or something on this show.
I guess. I'm tired of seeing Lauren cry, and I'm tired of hearing Orion lie.
Okay.
I'd rather see Michael. Whatever Michael's doing.
Wow, and this comes from someone who didn't want to see Michael at all.
Right.
Go ahead.
So they both meet up with their friends and family separately. Orion talked to I don't know if it was his friend or his brother, but talked to his friend, shared that it would be unfair to continue being 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the relationship.
Yeah.
He talked to his mom and sister, and they were just disappointed he didn't get what he wanted.
Excuse me?
And Orion is saying he's not open to dating right now. He actually did have genuine feelings for Lauren, so I guess it's going to take him some time to get over that.
Listen here, man. The man went on to say something like, I'm not going to jump straight out there because I had real feelings for Lauren. So, what are you talking about, Orion? Really? What do you mean that you're disappointed that you didn't get what you wanted? You had it. You had it, but you mismanaged it.
His mom and sister were disappointed.
Yeah, but
for him.
But for him, exactly.
Yeah.
But why? But obviously they're disappointed for them based on what he told them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you mean, like a family of disappointment? It's not disappointing. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, not because something happened to you. You happened to it. You get what I'm saying? She over here forgiving you. You could even make it to the move-in day. You giving her, you're gaslighting her. You're giving her false hope and things like that. And then when it's time to actually do the hard work and put your big boy pants on, you ran back home to your mother. So stay home with your mother.
Yep.
Get off my show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to say that now that I've seen the preview and that he gonna be on the next episode. So I'm probably gonna reiterate that next episode.
Yeah, just tell him until he does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of this season so far with Orion and Lauren? And basically, what do you see for them down the line? Because something telling me if they keep putting y'all in a room together, I don't want to see y'all get back together.
Well, let me just talk about Lauren's thing.
Go ahead.
First. So Lauren says that she feels pain and resentment. She is trying to take the lesson from the situation.
Yeah.
She says it sucks that he wasn't as optimistic as she was and trying to make things work. She met up with her brother and her sister-in-law. And the sister said, you can't change how people receive you. And if there's no forgiveness or willingness in a marriage, it's not going to work. So to answer your question, I just expect there to be a lot of craziness because when they interact and see each other, I don't see how it can be good because Orion is probably going to just talk about how much Lauren hurt his feelings. And what is Lauren supposed to do other than apologize and continue apologizing? It's ridiculous. So I honestly would rather not see that. That's not interesting to me. Just to see him try to beat her over the head with the same thing. And it's it was weird because when he was in the meeting with Pastor Cal and telling Pastor Cal what transpired, and she said, I apologize, I did this, I did that, and he was like, I don't know what more to say to get her to understand. I'm just like, she clearly understands. So what are you trying to do? So that's where I'm at with Orion. Just annoyed.
Listen here, man. Shout out to I think that was Lauren's sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Listen, man. She built her up. You get what I'm saying? Because Lauren, I'm not gonna hold you. Even though you was wrong in this thing, I'm tired of seeing you cry. You have no reason to cry over this stranger.
Yeah.
This is not a 2-year relationship, 3-year relationship. This is a honeymoon relationship, literally.
Yeah.
And I understand you had high hopes and things like that. But truth be told, the thing that I don't like about this show, and granted, when I say I don't like about this show, is just this one part. I feel like there's something to failing fast. This is a failing fast situation, meaning okay, Orion is here, Lauren is here. Let's just cut the cord. But I feel like the experts want to keep them together or put them in the same situation to keep talking about it and things like that. So it could be a win for them, the experts. Basically, we put y'all together. Look, we can see that it can work. No, it can't.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even though it may look good on paper, look at the person that Orion is.
But we got to also realize it's a show at the end of the day, so...
No, I understand.
That's part of the job.
I understand. I understand.
I think for the experts, even though the experts aren't producers, I feel like they have their little producer hat on sometimes.
Oh no! Look, I'm not against that, but the thing about marriage is, as real as marriage is, divorce is too, and you have to also do your job as an expert to protect these people's integrity as well. And if you keep putting her in a room with Orion, as we saw in the preview, she over there kneel down crying. I don't know what made her cry that hard, but obviously it's what are we doing here?
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to even talk to each other no more. He said what he wanted to say. Let's move on.
Right.
Let's go on to the next scene, Blair.
Next, we see Emily and Brennan. They are shopping for the house party. They decided to go with the wig theme.
Yeah.
And Emily really feels like Brennan is trying.
Yeah, listen here, man. I guess listen, man, I don't care how goofy or playful you try to be. Eventually, you got to talk, Brennan.
Exactly.
Continue.
We get to Claire and Cameron's house as they're preparing, and they're going to have anything but a cut party.
Yeah.
So Cameron walks in, and Claire asks, where is the food?
Yeah.
You were supposed to come home with the food. And he says that he's just going to order it. We're in downtown Denver. It's not going to be hard to get food.
Yeah.
So he was also supposed to bring a Folgers can as his cup. He didn't have the cups. She's just annoyed that he's just not prepared.
Yeah.
So he gets ready to place the order for the food. He can't select a time to get an order, so he has to go pick it up in 15 minutes. And it's a few hours before the party, so they're just thinking he's thinking the food is just going to go bad.
Yeah. Now, this scene frustrated me because I'm like, how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? It's food. Number one, Cam, you didn't bring home the food. Let's start with that. If you know you have somebody who is a
planner
is a micromanager.
Okay.
I like to go with micromanager because if it's Cam's job to get the food, let him prove that he can get the food.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So if Claire is micromanaging about the food, you didn't secure or put her mind at ease that you got it handled.
Yeah.
You made it basically make it seem like there's a way of making it sound like you have things in control without making it seem like her idea is not valid. Her whole idea is that I want food to already be here when people show up.
Yeah.
He did not secure or even encourage, like, I will get the food an hour before people get here. I will get the food 2 hours before people get here. He just basically making it seem like, do you think we should get the food now? The food will be this, the food will be that. I'm going to order it. And then when he order it, oh, there's no time. It's going to be ready in 15 minutes. You see why I should have just waited to get the, I'm like, why you had to go through all those loops and trials and turns? If it's your job to get the food, then you take it upon yourself. You don't need nobody watching over your shoulder to get the food.
Right.
And secure her to make it feel like, I got it. You know? But it just seems like Cam is just in a way, I don't know what his objective is on this show, to be honest. Cam is a mystery to me. And he's a mystery to me because he wants so much from someone and he gives so little.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't understand, because we know what Cam wants. Cam wants sex. But I'm like, you have to build trust in this person. And now you're making a big deal talking about, maybe the food will be whatever it is, whatever. And then you forgot your Folgers cup. So it just comes off as if you're not even trying to meet her halfway, where she may be the one that over prepares. You just came in completely unprepared altogether. Yeah. You straight came in with no Folgers thing. You just came home with no food. You just basically making it seem like you ain't having no party today.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's why Claire's probably overreacting to food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was annoyed by that scene as well. I felt like, Cameron, if she told him to get the food, number one, why are you coming from outside the house to come in the house and you don't have food?
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's one thing if you've been laying around the house all day and it's like, oh, I got to still go out or whatever. You are already out. So what were you doing?
Yeah.
And then another thing, like you said, like, he can assure her and tell her, like, okay, this is what time I'm going to get the food. This is where I'm going to order from. Like, you can clue her into the plan. But he literally had no plan, and she had to plan for him. And that's the aggravating part. So. And
then blame her for ordering the food too early.
Yeah.
I'm like,
if you would have came with a plan and said, don't worry, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to get. Like, it'll be fine.
But he didn't do that.
No.
He is weird, man. Continue.
Yeah. We see Becca and Austin and their friends arrive. Austin talks to Becca's friends about her exes and asks, what do I need to know to not be an ex, pretty much. And they say Becca needs open communication. Austin talks about how their faith doesn't line up, but it's a hurdle that'll take time for them to get over.
Okay.
Becca she talks to Austin's friends, and things are going good so far. And she says it's validating to meet his friend. Well, he only had one friend there. Who says that, he's a great guy. And Derek, the friend, says that, religion rarely comes up in their friendship. So he doesn't, and he's an atheist.
Yeah, so he don't believe in nothing.
Right. And so he said that hasn't been an issue in their friendship. So he doesn't really think it should be an issue with Becca. And Becca says, Austin doesn't treat people negatively or see them negatively based off of their religion or anything like that. And she said that's her biggest issue, is when people basically don't treat people kindly in the sake of their religion.
That's facts. Now, I would just like to go, you said the friend name was Derek?
Yeah.
Listen here, Derek, I agree that religion hasn't come up in y'all friendship, but to say that it probably doesn't come up in his prior relationship or probably won't come up in his relationship, I don't think that's your place to say, brother.
Yeah, I don't think you would be privy to that.
I don't think you would know, Now, because it's very different to be friends with somebody and you're one religion and I'm a different religion. I have a whole bunch of friends, and not very much, if at any time, did religion come up.
Yeah.
But when you decide to have a life with one person, a spouse, and then you want to raise your children under that same household, religion may come up.
And the fact that he's married, and he's probably holding his marriage to a religious or Christian standard.
At least she is. At least we know that with Becca. So I don't know if he gave Becca the right assurance in that, because he wouldn't be privy to that side of Austin.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Relationships is very private. It's very one-on-one. It's very intimate. So, like, my friends wouldn't know. Even though I know my friends longer than I know my wife, there's a side of me that my friends does not know because she sees a certain side of me that my friends are not privy to.
And I did want to point to where Austin said that the faith thing or religion is going to be a hurdle that'll take time to get over.
Yeah.
That made me be like, okay, so it is a hurdle, Austin.
But they ain't talking about it.
Right. You're not talking about it like it is. You're not approaching it in any type of way. It's just kind of like it's there and it'll take time. But you're not fostering any conversation around it so that way you both can get over it. So I don't really know what Austin plans to do around that. But by him saying that alone, it lets me know, okay, at somewhere his religion is important to him for it to be a hurdle in him voicing that.
But listen, why do I got to talk about it, Blair, when I plan on leaving?
True.
I'm just saying, I think Austin is here for a good time, not a long time. All right. Until Austin showed me something that is foundational about their relationship, about himself, I think he's just there for a good time, not a long time. Continue.
Yeah. Well, we are with Emily and Brennan, and her friends arrive.
Yeah.
Emily talks about how she moved most of her stuff upstairs by herself.
Come on, Emily. Why are you telling on me?
Then Brennan's friends arrive. Everyone puts their wigs on. And Alex voiced, her biggest concern is that he's not going to be willing to give it his all. Emily says that she questions if he's ready for this type of commitment. That's what we're seeing in the confessionals. And then Alexis, we get to sit down and talk, and Alexis is asking, why did you do this? And Brennan said he felt like there was something missing, just a partner to do life with. Okay. And Alex says, Emily is supportive. She's a backbone, but I haven't really heard about you being a backbone for her. And Brennan says that he is supportive and he plans to give that to her. The friend asks, did you help her move her stuff upstairs? He says, in real life, I'd 100% help her move.
Oh, this the metaverse.
And Alex is like, this is real life. Like, what are you talking about? You guys got married. She does everything and she's not sure, he's going to be able to give everything to her. Even her taking stuff out the oven and preparing stuff, Alex asked, if she needed help, and basically looking at Brennan to say like, hey, help your wife. Brennan says, well, I pulled everything out the oven. She just plated the food. And one of the friends says, well, you're getting stuck in the details of the scenario. And the point that they were really trying to make is you could be more helpful.
Brennan playing a little semantics there a little bit.
Well, Brennan feels like they are attacking him rather than trying to understand him. And one of the girls says, there's more that goes into this, but why did you decide to get married at first sight? And the friend says, we've heard you've been miserable to film with. And Brennan says, okay, so Emily told y'all something and y'all are coming in hot. Alex says, look, you're married to one of our best friends, and we love her. We are protective of her, and we just want to know, like, who are you and why are you here?
What did you think about this scene, Blair? Because I
felt like the friends overextended themselves.
You think so?
I do. I felt like they were definitely coming in hot, and I don't think it took all that. And them saying, why are you here? Why did you do this? Because your friend decided to do it. If she didn't decide to do it, he would be with somebody else. So to me, I don't feel like they're being fair in the fact that this is a two-way street. I do agree that they can voice to him like, hey, it doesn't sound like you're being as supportive and you're not like helping her. Like, we would love to see that, but it wasn't broached in that conversation. It did seem very accusatory and kind of like trying to put him down or put him in his place. And I don't fault him for responding the way he did, because he's just like, I don't know y'all. And y'all don't know me, and y'all don't know what we've been through, even though Emily has been telling them the truth. But in his head, he's just like, y'all don't get to just come up here and ask me or accuse me of stuff when y'all don't even know. But they do know.
I mean, they do.
But yeah, I felt like they could have came with a better approach to actually get the answers they were looking for. But yeah, I think they were just like, I think they already have in their head that they don't like him. That's how it came across to me.
See, here's the thing. I want y'all to listen to me real quick. I want y'all to take off what you seen in that scene, right? And actually, like, let's go into what Brennan said, real life, right? If you ever tell your friends something, or if you give your friends in-depth look of your relationship, the thing you don't want your friends to do is to let the person know who you're talking about know that you're talking about them. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think her friends, even though they was right, but they was only right based on what Emily told them.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're not looking at our eyes as the viewer of the show. Mm-hmm. So we know, like, Brennan, you know, like, you could do a lot better. You could have helped your wife bring stuff up.
Yeah.
You could have plated the food or basically be more of an assist to your wife during a housewarming party or a house welcoming party, whatever they call it.
And
right?
she got one wrist.
Exactly. Now, we know the technicalities of it. But off of technicalities, Brennan is right. Uh-huh. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're my best friend and I'm talking to you about my wife, I don't want my best friend to go check my wife.
Exactly.
Like
you're out of place.
Exactly.
You're out of order.
So my thing is, Emily, if this is what's going to happen, now granted, we know Brennan is not a good husband. Mm-hmm. But in a relationship, whenever there's problems in your relationship and things like that, do you have those type of best friends that you tell information to and they can't keep it in house? Mm-hmm. Because that's going to ruin your marriage faster than what Brennan doing.
And especially the fact that if things really are an issue, which they are an issue, and you kind of like laughing and, you know, trying to get over, but clearly you're talking to your friends upset about it, you need to talk to him and be just as upset to his face.
Exactly.
So he knows how serious you are.
Facts.
Whereas her friends are like, you know, my friend's been crying to me and and all this type of stuff. And who are you? Why are you here? And it's just like, if it was an issue, why didn't she come to me?
Listen, I wish I had a choir roll right now.
Okay.
Because you're preaching to the choir. Because that's 100% facts. Don't laugh in my face and smile in my face.
And then apologize for your friends.
And then go to your friends and give, like, the real reaction to my nonsense. Granted, I am not absolving Brennan of nonsense. Brennan has been, if not worse, the same level as Orion.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because he is, at least Orion, one thing we can say is that he said, I don't want to be part of this process.
Yeah.
Brennan's over here faking.
Right.
You know? So don't be all calm and cool and fake in front of your husband, Emily. Let him see that same fire or that same disdain that you are sharing that information with, that like you shared that information with your friends and things like that. Let him see that. Mm-hmm. Because your friends, they kind of play with your trust.
Yeah.
They kind of expose you. Mm-hmm. And then, like, even though they was right and Brennan over here playing semantics, Brennan has every right to be like, I don't know y'all, I don't owe y'all anything.
And I don't know that me and my wife have a problem.
Exactly.
So
the only problem
what do I have to prove to you?
The only problem that I had was that I didn't call her beautiful on TV. Mm-hmm. And I ain't moving the first day. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Emily's over here saying he ain't help me move in and things like that. If you're going to do that in your marriage, trust me, your marriage is going to end fast. And Brennan's doing everything in his power to end this marriage fast, but you're going to end it faster.
Yeah, you're going to help.
You got to keep the problems, even though the problems are not your fault, Emily. You have to keep those problems in-house. Mm-hmm. Continue.
So we are at Claire and Cameron's house.
Yeah. Claire
asked if Cameron warmed up the food. He said the oven's on.
Stop right there. You see, dude, you get what I'm saying? Like, something's wrong with this guy.
Like answer the question.
Something's wrong with the guy. And then, you notice something? I'm looking at your notes right here, and you don't have it written down, so I don't know if you go say it.
Okay.
When he first came in a couple of scenes ago, he had on a dress shirt.
Okay.
Right? And he said, I'm going to change. And then he changed it to a t-shirt. I'm like, that's kind of backwards to me. Okay. I'm like, if it's a house warming or house welcoming and things like that, and these are her friends that's coming.
Right, and your friends aren't.
Which is weird in a way.
Yeah.
Why are you like looking? I feel like his attire is backwards. Wear the dress shirt for the housewarming or house welcoming to make her look good because she looked nice. She looked dressed up.
Yeah, she was in a nice
exactly.
Black dress.
And he ain't do nothing to match her.
It's like he's not trying.
Exactly.
Or he's actively trying to not try.
and I say that to link that to like the first sentence that you just said.
Yeah.
She asked him a straight question. Did he warm up the food? And he basically said the oven's on. Why are we doing these like
dances,
these mystery answers? You know what I'm saying? Continue, Blair. Sorry.
No, and that is annoying. Like, cause she wasn't trying to be funny.
No, she wasn't.
She was literally just trying to get stuff together. Be like, hey, did you do this? Is this done? The oven's on.
She straight was saying this while moving stuff and doing things around.
Yeah. It's like, now I got to stop to try to figure out the right answer. But thank goodness she didn't. She said, okay, that means no. Okay. So let me go check the oven. And she said, it's cold. Exactly. The oven was off. So she goes ahead and warms up the food. And Claire and basically they're just like, the food is like 5 hours old. We probably should have waited to get the food. And Claire admits, like, yeah, I was just kind of, anxious about it, so we could have waited. Yeah. Cameron shares when one of her friends comes. Yeah. So they're asking, what's your relationship like with your father? Like, just kind of like trying to get to know him and his background. And he says, me and my relationship with my father is pretty distant. And he says, he didn't tell him he was on the show. And they're like, why wouldn't you do that? He's like, would you tell a man on his deathbed?
Guess what? I straight would act like I ain't hear it. They are better than me. Cause that ain't my father, but what did you think about that exposure right there, Blair?
I think that just goes to point to something is off with Cameron. Like, I don't know if it's like an actual illness or an issue. Like, maybe is he a little autistic? I mean, I don't know. Like, is he just not good with social stuff?
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah.
Or is he like just actively an a-hole and wants to make people uncomfortable and wants to see if he can get a rise out of folks or a reaction. Yeah. Because people are, especially Claire and her friends and all of them are therapists, like they're going to be empathetic to something like that. Yeah. So for him to just blurt it out like that, it just made it seem like he was trying to get a reaction. Yeah.
And why do you want a reaction just off the strength of the question, do your people know or do your father know you on the show? Yeah. No is the answer. Like no, he don't know. No, he doesn't know I'm on the show. Actually, he's going through a couple things right now. That's how normal people talk. Do like, you get what I'm saying? Like we don't know you enough, Cam, to know your sense of humor, to know like your dark humor, to even know if you even able to do that. Right. It just comes off as if you don't know how to talk in social settings. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Claire felt like it was weird that he brought that up in front of her friends because she's like, he wouldn't even say stuff like that to me in private. So I don't know why he would share that in front of my friend group.
But yet he wants her cookie, though.
Yeah.
Yet you want to have sex with her to prove to you that she likes you and that y'all can be intimate, but you can't even share with her that your father's sick. Yeah. Like, trust, sex, intimacy, all that. Listen, those are all synonyms to women. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? They all, if I say sex to Blair just heard trust. If I say intimacy to Blair, she just hear trust. You get what I'm saying? Claire don't trust you for you to be poking her. Yeah. And I'm like, why would she trust? You didn't give her nothing to like hold. This is how much you think of Claire. You think of Claire so much to share that information with a stranger more than something that you and your wife can share together privately. Yeah. And that and from Claire's perspective, that is kind of strange and weird that I'm finding out new things about my husband, my spouse, in front of my friend. Continue.
Yeah. Well, Claire's other friends arrive, and Claire talks to them and says, marriage has been a wild ride. Yeah. Cameron says that with Claire, he gives her like standoffish and then he has to come back and apologize. He says that he wanted to do this process because he always wanted to be married and felt like it was the right time, but he had no prospects. And then this adventure seeking thing comes up again to where he's like, and I'm just an adventurous guy. And he says that the family that knows about the marriage is supportive.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Cameron talks to the guy friends and he's saying that feelings are getting deeper every day. He feels he's bearing more of the emotional struggle, though.
That's strange.
He says that the religion thing came up and he's open to religion, but he doesn't want to raise his children religious. Okay. Claire is talking to her girlfriend and she says that she respects him as a person, but sometimes she wonders like if that's enough to make a lifelong marriage. Yeah. Claire shares his stance on religion, and the friend says there might be a compromise somewhere in there. She would have liked to have that convo about his dad separately. Of course. And that really threw her for a loop how he did that. It seems that his family's not as involved, and she has a hard time with that, being that she really is a family person.
Listen here, Claire. I'm going to tell you this right now, straight up. Run. Run. Can I break down this scene just a little bit? Can I add my colors to it just a little bit? Number one, none of his friends showed up. Run. A man with no friends is a dangerous man. Run. Men make friends so easily. So the fact that the excuse that he said that my friends won't be able to make it because they are going on a trip.
Yeah, all of my friends going on a trip. They're going on the same trip. Mm-hmm.
All of them going on the same trip.
Yeah, and they got to get ready for a trip.
They have to get ready for a trip. No.
They can't come over for an hour?
No. Run. Mm-hmm. Also, I brought up the shirt thing. He wearing a t-shirt. He changed his clothes from a dress shirt to a t-shirt. Run.
Okay.
Run. I'm telling you, it's the small things that we think are not red flags that are very red flags. That means he didn't think much because he knew his friends wasn't coming. Mm-hmm. He didn't think much to represent you well in front of your friends because he knew only his friends was coming. Run. Come on now. Am I preaching? Where is your choir room?
Amen.
Bro? Okay, thank you.
All right.
Also, another thing too. There are so many lobs that I felt like was giving for him to compliment and to uplift Claire. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? There was a certain line that he said was basically they was talking about the process, and he said that he wouldn't do Married at First Sight again. He wouldn't do this again, but he happy that he did it with Claire and things like that. I'm like, why do your compliments sound like that? Yeah. It sounded backhandy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the best way that you there's no normalcy to this guy. And that's why I think you should run. Don't you want a normal life, Claire? like a life to where you could ask a question and get an answer. Yeah, like there's no normalcy to this guy. And I'm like, you need to run. He ain't got no friends. When it's an important event, he gonna wear a t-shirt. And you don't get no straight answers. Not even something as simple as bringing the food. Run. Yeah. Is there anything else on that scene you want to add, Blair?
Not too much. Honestly, I did think it was weird how he said he didn't want his kids to grow up in religion. Yeah. I just kind of figured that if you weren't religious, then you wouldn't really care. Mm-hmm. But he's actively against them being taught religion.
Yeah, but I think that's based off of his experience, right?
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know if that's going to be something that they can find a compromise in. Because if you don't want to teach your kids any religion and Claire is Catholic, that ain't going to mesh.
Hey, dude, I guess I asked this question here. Do you think Married at First Sight should match people's religions now? Because this is the most I've heard about religion, especially this much throughout the show. And it seems like it's a stumbling block or at least a talking point in every relationship.
Yeah, I feel like they should. Okay. But it seems like this show, they don't... It's like they don't really match up on compatibility. They match up on they're opposite to you and opposites attract. And it's like not necessarily. And it seems like some of these people are too polar opposite to really come together.
Exactly.
So it's just like, no, we don't need to have a Catholic with an atheist or an agnostic with a Christian.
Make it easy for yourselves.
Yeah, maybe just have a couple things in common. You know, so.
Yeah, continue.
Well, Becca says that she wants to improve her intimacy with Austin. Yeah. And they need to have fun, and that's where she thinks her intimacy is going to come from.
Stop right there. You're reading what she's putting down between the lines. Her esteem is starting to waver.
Yeah. She's a little worried, a little weary.
It's not enough that I love things about you and I think you're a good person. And he says, you know what, I love things about you too and you are a good person. But the fact that she's like, we need to improve our intimacy. I need to know for sure that you like me. You need to have sex with me. You know what I'm saying? Even though, guess what? The girlfriends was like, oh, we love him and he haven't done anything wrong. That esteem, that self-esteem, that confidence in the relationship, that reassurance as husband and wife. If things are so good, then why aren't we having sex?
Yeah. If we're clicking, we love each other, we get along, we're all in each other's skin. Then why ain't we all up in each other's skin? So
watch them, people. Watch them. Continue.
So Claire approaches Cameron about that dad comment conversation.
Yeah.
And Claire says that, He basically tells her, well, you never asked. She's like, but I did ask you about your past before and your family.
Show the flashback.
Yeah. And he says that he has feelings for her, but there's just no expression of feelings towards him. You give her nothing. You're basically like, I'm here and I dig you, so you should dig me because I'm here and I'm digging you. It's just like,
He wants sex, but it's starting to... If the way that he wants sex, man, you should have took some of your bike shop money and just buy sex then.
Okay.
Because you don't want to do the work for sex. You talking about like you are the one that's bearing the emotional burden of the relationship, and then you basically going to her. Everything is Claire's fault.
Yeah.
Run, Claire, because everything's your fault. That's number 3 or 4 on the list. You ask him a straight up question. Hey, how come you didn't bring up the dad thing with me and things like that? Well, you ain't asked. Well, it's my fault then. Sorry. You get what I'm
Sorry I didn't ask. Is your dad in good health?
Why would I
ask that?
Because you're weird, Cameron. You're weird. I would not ask that. You get what I'm saying? So, Cam is a liar when it comes to he's bearing the emotional burden of things like that. That he's expresses, that he shows expression towards her and she ain't doing it to him. Guess what? I believe she ain't showing it to him because he's a wild card.
Yeah.
And I don't trust him.
Yeah.
He's been a different person literally every day. You know what I'm saying? Continue.
Yep. Next, Brennan says the meeting with Emily's friends didn't really go well.
It didn't go as planned.
And he's talking to Emily about it. Mm-hmm. And Emily is like, I hear you. Like, my friends are kind of a reflection of me.
Yeah.
And they really do just care about me. But she said, it's not fair that they treated him that way. And she apologizes for them.
Listen here, man. Your friends wasn't wrong in their assessment. They was only wrong in their approach. They have to trust that when you are venting to them, Emily, that they don't, when they get a chance to talk to Brennan, as sexist as this may sound, no man wants no woman checking him. So to have 2 women basically checking him, Brennan, of course, was like, y'all attacking me. Why are y'all attacking me? Y'all don't know me. Uh-huh. I'm just telling you how men think, Okay. So you have to trust. You got to have that conversation with your friends. Like, hey, guys, when I tell y'all things, that's for us. I'm basically venting it.
Yeah.
And then those friends need to give you the great advice of like, well, you need to vent it to him.
Right. Talk to your husband.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything else you thought about that scene? Or anything you thought about the episode?
Just reiterating that, Emily, don't apologize for your friends.
Of course not.
No. Because your friends, you put the battery in their back.
Mm-hmm.
So, have the conversation with Brennan. Get it all out. And I feel the same way with Becca. You need to be serious with Austin.
Yeah. Because
this playing around, having fun is not going to build y'all intimacy. And it hasn't worked so far.
Not so far.
Yeah. That's it.
Is that the show?
Yeah.
We see a preview with Orion and Lauren, so maybe next episode is going to be about them. You're going to hear me fuss about them and things like that. Anything else that's on your mind about the episode?
Nope.
Y'all be good.
Bye.